Hello and welcome to the ProjectWise Administrator Fundamentals Accreditation course, Testing Security Model. In the previous lessons, we have used different techniques to apply security or access control to folders and documents that are stored in ProjectWise. We implemented the object security where we set up folder and document permissions for a selected folder. We then implemented the security for the drawings workflow using the ProjectWise Administrator module to allow designers to work with documents that are still work in progress. Designers can no longer work on those documents while they are being revised, as well as allowing external users to be able to view the documents once they are being approved. Last but not least, we also implemented the design workflow for the multi-use project using ProjectWise Explorer so that only relevant project participants can work on the documents. Internal users can view the documents. Contractors or external users that are part of this project can view approved documents. Contractors or external users that are not part of this project will not see any documents. Let's validate the security model we have set up are indeed correct. If you recall, we set up the folder and document permissions for the Learn folder and its subfolders, such that if we are a member of the user list, that is, if we are not the administrator or managers, the folder permissions are pretty limited for us. Let's see that in action, shall we? We have a drafter user here who is logging into ProjectWise. When the drafter tries to create a new folder under Learn, immediately we receive an error message that the drafter does not have the permission to create a new folder under Learn. Go ahead and hit OK and then cancel the folder creation. Similarly, this drafter user will go to a folder Building Examples, which holds all the active projects. And this drafter user will try to delete it, even confirming that all the subfolders should be deleted too. Go ahead and click Delete. We are seeing that ProjectWise is trying to gather information such as how many folders and documents that it will need to delete. Then comes the error message that the drafter user doesn't have the permission to delete folders. This is to validate that the object security we implemented does work as expected. The next item we will be validating is the drawings workflow. Any project with its folder having the drawings workflow assigned will have the workflow security we implemented via the ProjectWise Administrator module. Let's take a look. The D Design Files folder under the BSI 400 project has the drawings workflow assigned. Drafter, who is currently logged into ProjectWise, is a designer. Once the design change has been completed, Drafter will push the document to the next state for review. When the drawing is in content check state, it becomes read-only and no further changes are permitted, including moving the document to the previous or the next state of the workflow. Similarly, the drawing in the Plan Sheets folder under the BSI 300 project is behaving exactly the same way. As soon as the document leaves the work in progress state, it no longer becomes editable, and the document will not be able to proceed to the next state or reverse back to the previous state of the workflow. Our final validation will be specifically for the multi-use project. Remember when we configured the design workflow in the previous lesson? We specify that any internal user will be able to view the documents across multiple projects. And so here, drafter, who is a designer, is able to view documents, even the ones from the multi-use project. We know that this drafter will need to be able to work on this project, and currently do not seem to be the case because the open book icons are right next to the documents. So let's open the user management dialog window to find out why this drafter cannot work on this project. In the leftmost panel, under all users, select the current user, double-click on Drafter. On the rightmost panel, we see that Drafter is only a member of designers. This confirms our suspicion that Drafter is not a member of the multi-use project. It's time to make a call to the ProjectWise administrator and have the drafter added to the multi-use project. So here, Lynn is the ProjectWise administrator, and using the ProjectWise administrator module, she can quickly add drafter to be the designer of the multi-use project. Hit OK, Lynn then ask the drafter user to try it out. Let's switch back to ProjectWise Explorer. Drafter can go to another folder or simply go to the data source node at the top to see if drafter can now work on the documents under multi-use project. And indeed, drafter is now able to work with the documents under the multi-use project. Drafter can also move the document to the review state once the design change has been completed. Drafter, being an internal user, can view all documents, whether it is in review state or approved state, and there are a dozen of documents that need to be worked on as they are still in work in progress state. External users or contractors, for example, user 4, on the other hand, does not see any document at all under the multi-use project. User 4 will use the same trick by opening the user management dialog window and find out that he or she is not a member of the multi-use project. User 4 will make the call to the ProjectWise administrator and ask to be added to this multi-use project. So Lynn will go ahead and assign user 4 to be a member of the multi-use contractors. Once user 4 has been added to the right group, user 4 is now able to view only approved documents for the multi-use project. During this lesson, we have learned by using different techniques to implement security or access control for the folder and documents that are stored in ProjectWise. We also learned how to set up test users to validate the security model that we implemented.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with others. If you want to see more like it, please consider subscribing to this and Bentley's other channels. Thank you, and see you next time.